Welcome to Lesson 4 in Unit 19, Sensing Tsunamis. In this lesson, students will work to answer the question, how do people know when a tsunami is coming? In this lesson, students consider if humans could detect a tsunami using their senses by making observations about what frequencies of sound humans can hear. Students compare human senses to technological sensors and animal senses. Students figure out that humans can detect sounds from the environment. The information from the sound is processed in the brain and using memories initiates a response. They also learned that sound has energy. Students learn that humans cannot use their ears to detect tsunamis before they arrive, but it might be possible for devices to be used which can. Students make connections to the storyline by learning about the methods of detecting tsunamis with enough time to provide meaningful warning. There are several opportunities for ELA cross-curricular connections throughout the lesson. You can look for specific standard connections in the Unit 19 Teacher Guide. This lesson will take approximately 4 days to complete. For the Engage portion of the lesson, you'll revisit the graph which describes the death toll of the 2011 tsunami in Japan compared to the 2004 tsunami in Indonesia. You'll ask students what they notice and wonder, and then revisit the driving question board. You'll add in any new questions and highlight any other ones connected to the learning goals of this lesson by calling attention to questions about how people know when a tsunami is coming. You'll then ask students questions about their thoughts on tsunami detection. For the Explore portion, you'll ask students if they think they could hear a tsunami coming. You'll then play the sound of a tsunami and ask some more questions. You'll divide students into groups and have them use the Hearing Investigation student journal page and review the instructions together. In the Explain portion of the lesson, students will engage in a class discussion. You'll invite students to gather and analyze their observations around the activity. You'll use the provided questions to guide the discussion around how do people know when a tsunami is coming. The goal of this class discussion is to analyze student observations and explain how people can receive sounds from the environment, process them with their brains and memories, and respond to them. You will use the discussion to create the Lesson 4 summary chart. From the discussion, students should understand that people cannot hear tsunamis with their ears until they are very close to shore, but they might be able to detect them using a sensor. You'll then use materials from the MySci kit to assemble the eardrum model to explain what sound is and how sound is received, processed, and responded to. You can pause this video here to review the needed materials. While discussing the model, you can post and discuss the sound and sense receptor vocabulary cards. You'll allow students to complete the model and explain how humans hear and respond to sound in the How We Hear model student journal page. For the Elaborate portion, you'll ask students how else people can use their senses to detect a tsunami. You'll show students the Sensing a Tsunami flyer and ask them questions about connections to their investigation and what else people can use aside from their senses to detect a tsunami. In order to carry out the next part of the Elaborate instruction, you use the Teacher Technology Support to set up 2 microbits from your MySci kit. Be sure to use the tutorial linked in the Teacher Guide to set up the microbits and prepare for this portion of the lesson. You'll show students the microbits and explain that a microbit is a small computer that can be used to sense motion, sound, changes in temperature, or movement. The microbit can interface with a computer, either by being plugged in or through Bluetooth. You'll ask students how they think a microbit can be used to warn people about tsunamis. You'll then show students a video about deep ocean sensors and show students a map of buoys to detect tsunamis. You'll ask students what they observe about the buoys and why they think there are so many. For the Evaluate portion, you'll have students complete the Sensory Processing Quick Check Student Journal page. To support student sense-making across the unit, orient students back to the driving question board. Ask, what did we learn about how people can sense a tsunami is coming? Do we have any new questions to add to our driving question board? By the end of this lesson, students will have made observations to produce data to explain how information from the environment can be detected, processed, and responded to. In Lesson 5, students will explore how codes can be used to communicate tsunami warnings with people once they are detected. For the optional Extend portion, you can show students a video about animals detecting disasters and ask students what they think and observe. You can have students read, Can Animals Detect Tsunamis? And share with students that scientists do not fully understand everything about animal behavior and how it relates to detecting and responding to natural events. After some discussion, you'll divide students into groups and share that they will be scientists researching how animals might be able to detect tsunamis before they reach shore. For more information about this unit, visit myscipartners.com.